Okay then, so a new day, and there's a bare spot of ground where the red truck used to be, and as anticipated, it's gone. So anyway, the guy came late yesterday evening. It was after dark, and brought his trailer and his van that he pulls with and picked up the truck as he agreed to. It was a trade deal, so unfortunately he left something here for me in exchange. So we're going to see what I wound up with. I've spent a little while this afternoon wondering if there's some kind of test you can take at home to determine if you're insane or not. And if there isn't, that's fine. If there is, I probably need to locate one of those tests and take it, because I think I've lost it. But anyway, here we go, and prepare yourself. Well, here it is, for better or for worse. So let me get a couple things out of the way pretty quickly. The guy that I traded with is a real nice guy. He went out of his way to make this happen, and he drove the truck on the trailer down here 80 miles of his own goodwill, and I paid him for his time and gas and everything quite fairly, I feel like. So he never ran this truck, did anything to it, never worked on it. He didn't do anything with it, just hung on to it for I don't know how long. So anyway, that's where it is. And so anything that we find that's not good with it, it wasn't his fault. So anyway, what I guess we all thought this was a 1989 Dodge W250 truck, which W means it's a four-wheel drive. That 250 means it's a 3/4 ton. It's cool. It'd be a cool truck, and it is a cool truck, but it's not quite exactly what we thought it was. I don't think he knew it, and I had to kind of look at a few things and do a little quick research and find out what it was. Well, we'll get into that. Let's just kind of do a little walk around. I'm sorry about the sun over here. It's late in the day. I'm not here during the day normally to do filming, so I apologize for that. So we'll just do the best we can with it. So anyway, we're going to just do the walk around this bumper. Don't know what that bumper's off of. It's off of some kind of a car. That's not a truck bumper. It's fairly straight. It's got 3/4 ton later model wheels on it. Take note of that. It's got chicken chasers up there, which a 250 should have. I'm not going to look in there yet. So pretty straight down the side of it. It's got a little bit of rot here. It came from just at the line of where they start to use some salt in Tennessee. I'm going to have to kind of strut something here a little bit. But anyway, sorry, I should have done that previous. No tail lights. The little thing's missing off the tailgate. Tag went out in 12. Bumper with dents in it. Kind of junky. Bed's pretty good on this side. Truck used to be, it's missing some of its trim. It used to be black and silver. It's pretty attractive truck in its day. Of course, we got this going on. I don't understand why people do stuff like this, but looks like that looks like some of the wood I have myself right there. Anyway, that's all right. So pretty straight. It's not rusty anywhere else. Take note of that. All right, so let's look inside real quick. Let's go on this side of it. So this truck is it's an LE, which means it had power windows, power door locks, nicer interior for a Dodge. It's got a decent seat in it, real decent actually. Sliding rear window, no headliner. Don't know if it would have had one. I thought it did, but maybe not. It's got a cracked windshield. Dash is not too bad. It's got junk in it. Floors look okay so far. No guarantees on that one. I'm trying to make these walk arounds a little bit more concise here. So Coming around here, we got some bare floors. Got 3 pedals. It's got a big gear shift in it. So, I'm laughing to myself. People, I do this, and I don't know I'm doing it. People say, what are you laughing about? What are you chuckling about? Because I already know what's going on with this truck. And by the way, it's all legit. It's got a title. It's all good. There's no janky stuff going on with that. Here comes another train. I can't do a video without a train coming. So, anyway, so MP 435 in it, which means it's a 4-speed transmission with granny gear. Let's take a look at the engine. So originally, this truck would have had a 318 or a 360 TBI engine in it, and that's not it. You can still see a lot of the wiring over here. See a big hole in there where the mice could get in. That's nice. Got something going on there. They put a little relay deal in. There's the old computer that ran the TBI. Well, somebody has converted this. There's that thing. Somebody has converted this. Not only is the TBI gone, the TBI engine is gone. This is random numbers on it. This is a 76 360 out of something. I'm saying it's probably going to be a truck, because I think what's happened here, this truck has had the whole drivetrain swapped in it, because we haven't got to the good part yet. Used to be air conditioning. They did a fairly good job of this. I mean, they knew what they were going to have to do. They put the voltage regulator in it, put the bias resistor. It's got the box over there in it, electronic ignition. It's got some big kind of holly on it, but that's just, you know, you look at this, it's got headers and it's been painted orange, and I don't even know if it's seized up or got water in it or anything. I haven't even spent the time to look. I guess we better lay like that. Somebody's done something. I mean, it's in there, but it's pretty janky. So the story I got with this engine, the whole entire truck. Wonder where the bottom of the dipstick's at. I didn't see any holes in the engine. There's no oil showing, but I didn't see any holes. The story I got with this is it was running many years ago, and the fuel pump went out. It's dry. Fuel pump went out on it, and what they were doing is apparently they were running the EFI fuel pump, which is in the tank like all modern trucks. Because you see they've got that's an adjustable fuel pressure regulator, and they got a fuel pressure gauge up here. And I don't even know why they did all that. They have, this block has, if you peek under here, it has a block off plate on it right in there for the fuel pump. So they could put a mechanical fuel pump on it. It's got a lot of rust on the top of this air cleaner. That's not a good sign. It means it's had water sitting on it, and water tends to go right in there. So probably a 75% chance this engine is seized up. But the guy warned me. He said this thing's seized. I think he felt kind of bad about it. He probably wondered, like a lot of people would, why I would trade a running truck for this. But it's because I like the way this truck looks, and I can do something with all this. I didn't want to fool any more electronics. We already discussed that. So, got some stuff. Here's what I thought happened to it. I thought they put this truck on a different chassis. As we look under here, and it's definitely got 4x4 equipment on it. It looks like a Dana 44. It's got these, I guess these are the dampers for the steering so it doesn't death wobble. It's got disc brakes on it. Come around the back of it. And I'm going to assume this is a Dana 60. It's got a lift kit on it, at least in the back it does. That's a Dana, as far as I know, that's a Dana 60. There's the plastic fuel tank up there. There's a nightmare of wiring back here, of course. So I was looking under this, and I was hoping, when I first looked at this transfer case, it's cast iron, and I thought, please let that be an MP 405, 205, I'm sorry, MP 205. It's not. It's an NP 203, which means it's a cast iron chain driven transfer case. But like I was saying, it's all here. All the four-wheel drive stuff is here. And I thought the easiest thing to do is just put this body on a four-wheel drive chassis, but apparently that's not what they did, because there's hangers for the exhaust, there's the thing for the catalytic converter. It's still got the way over there, you can't see it from here, but it's got the EFI fuel filter and lines and all that in it. So there's the for the single exhaust. Frame is scaly, it's not bad though, it's not rusted out. So I saw that and I was like, somebody's, that bed's not even bolted down. I guess it is right there. So anyway, I've got to let this train go by. You won't be able to hear me. So we'll turn the camera off until it goes on by, and we'll pick it back up. Alright, it's gone. So if you hear a horn honk again, though, there's one coming back the other way. We'll do our best, though. So anyway, let's look at the interior. So some kind of a box fell out when I opened the door up, but he said there were some parts to it in here. It's like the cluster, which this is it. This is the cluster. Notice that though, the PRN D21. Looks like we got the, I don't know what's in there, but looks like this thing's in good shape. It's got an extra hole right there. Don't know what that's for. Oh no. Oh no, I don't want to look in there yet. So we got, I was wondering if the mirror's missing off the other door over there. So here it is. We've got a couple tail lights. That's good. Not sure what this is. I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, he's got some information on there. Looks like some strips of LED lighting. I wonder if he knew these were in here. I'm sure he did. He put all this stuff in it. Let's see if this is his stuff. Well, I don't know. I might need to ask him if he needs this, because this doesn't look like something that goes on a truck. But I'll keep that. And, oh, power blower. Ooh, all right, nice. I don't know what's under that, so I'm not going to move that quite yet. This doesn't look good. I'm not sure I want to even open this. Oh, no. That thing is full. How could something do that? I'm not going to touch that until I have a mask on, and no thank you. So I'm going to point this camera away, because I think it's got some stuff here also. Oh, okay. I don't know what these, maybe those were for the cab up there. There's 5 of them. Okay. He said something about some LED lights, so maybe that's what he was, oops, sorry. Maybe that's what he was talking about. Man, that's gross. Jeez. I'm not facing any of this today, no thank you. So I don't know why the cluster's out of it. Your guess is as good as mine. That's what I'm saying. I can deal with all this. I've had all that apart on that truck there. So anyway, not going to get into discussing what my plans are for it. Oh yeah. So I figure what somebody was doing with this truck was they built it for a mud truck. because it's street legal, I guess, but it's got like the exhaust, it's got 2 glass packs, and it just comes out right there off the headers. That hump has been, that's out of an old truck. So I'm not going to swear that this is not actually sitting on an older chassis. It doesn't look like it. I don't necessarily know how to tell on all these. It certainly looks older than the truck itself does. But I don't think so. I think this is original chassis. So if it is, so let's get to it. What is this thing? Well, I can tell you based on the paperwork and the VIN and all that, the title, I can tell you what it started out as. This started out as a 1989 D150, which is a 2-wheel drive with a 318 TBI engine in it. So somebody, whether they did it right or wrong, somebody either changed the running gear under it or they built this truck into a 4-wheel drive. That's a lot of work. I can't believe somebody would do that. You know, the old saying is, they say, well, they say if you want a 4-wheel drive, the easiest way to get one is to buy one. So if this is actually, you guys probably know better than me for sure, because I've only had 150s. I've not had a D250, especially not a 4-wheel drive. I see a leaf looks like it's missing out of this spring. See that? And I see that the steering shaft has been, looks like lengthened with a piece of pipe. And these shock mounts, of course, because it's lifted. But where's the mounts for the? See, there's no evidence of the A-arms like this truck over here. Does this truck have A-arms on it? Yeah. Oh, something's building a nest up there, so I don't drive in that. See, this is just, you can't see that, can you? There's a bird in there. But anyway, so it's got, like, this looks got a light on it. Hang on a second. See if I can figure out how to turn my camera light on. You know, I have to ask something. Why would you put a light on the camera with no way to turn it on from the outside of the camera? Jesus. People are so stupid sometimes. Anyway, if you look up in here, this has got, there's mounts for the upper control arms. This is a 2-wheel drive. And let's see if it's more. Let's see over here. It's a bird nest. So anyway, there it is. You can see in there. So it looks like it's riveted. I just didn't see much evidence of that on the frame of this truck. Because you would think if they torched it off or hacked it off, you would be able to tell it pretty easily. Oh, I don't know. So I don't know. Well, you guys have had some of these trucks. You can tell me. You think it's a bastard, or somebody did it the right way. See, those mounts, those leaf spring mounts, that's riveted on right there. That's not welded. See, those are all rivets right in there in the center of it. So a D150 would have not had any of this. So that's why I'm kind of going to go back to my initial suspicion, is that this truck, I just took the truck off the 2-wheel drive chassis and just dropped it on. This engine is probably the engine that was on the chassis, so that would be a 76. Yeah, so I don't know. Well, I don't know, guys. I don't know what this is exactly, but either way, I'm happy with it because it's you know, it fits, it checks all the boxes that appeal to me when I get a project like this. You know, number one, it doesn't run. Number two, it may not ever run because it may be just completely foobarred. Number three, it's as nasty as it can possibly be. I mean, this thing's like an open grave, but it makes sense though, because that analogy should make sense, because this thing was literally exhumed out of a field before he brought it down here. It was sitting, I saw a picture of it. I mean, it was up in weeds. So anyway, but you know, there's these trucks are in the junkyard, so this kind of thing appeals to me. That red truck, I was just like, you know, I mean, it's a cool looking truck, but it's kind of a, you know, there was a woman driving it before I owned it, so I kind of saw this thing. I thought, that truck here makes me feel like a real man. And I'll tell you another. Here's another doggone rat. Quickly, hopefully. I don't know whatever happened to men between the 1970s and now. I don't know if they're brainwashed, they're spoiled, or they're just girly men. I don't know what it is. The guy that I used to work with part-time, older guy, used to help him move office furniture. He called them sissy boys, but I'm not going to go that far. But what happened to men? What happened to real men that could drive something like this and be okay with it? I mean, a big four, I don't know if I want to get in this or not. I guess I will take my life in my hands. But there's this big thing right here. This big thing sticking up. Big 4-speed shifter attached to a big heavy-duty 4-speed transmission with a granny gear. And this clutch, which actually works, hopefully, it does something in here, that you have to push with your foot and your leg. You know, your leg can't stick out the window or just hang out over here and rest for a while. You know, it has to actually be working this. What happened to men? You know, now, you know, they don't even sell trucks except that nothing under a big, probably not any. I don't even know if they make like a heavy duty truck with a manual transmission, or because everybody wants to just sit here because, you know, there's probably a couple reasons for it. You know, that it's hard to hold your phone like this and look at it and text and do things when you're having to use that hand to work this gear shift over here. That's a bitch to do that. So that's probably one thing that contributed to no more gear shifts. And you know, it's just who wants to see Daddy with his home tanning machine tan and his perfect hair and his manicured nails and, you know, his sport clips haircut and all that crap and that perfect amount of goatee. Who wants to see him up here sweating in this thing trying to run a gear shift and a clutch? That's not cool. Nobody wants to do that. You know, well, I got to get off that topic because I'm not perfect either. But I can drive one of these. I sweat over that thing all the time. But even for a two-wheel drive truck, that's not the easiest truck to drive. That gear shift is bulky. So anyway, we're just going to pick at this thing, guys. Hopefully, I'm more motivated to do things on this truck. I didn't get very motivated on the red truck, but this one's just it's pretty neat, and it's not intimidating. I don't mean intimidating like I feel insecure. I just mean the amount of work is not intimidating. You know, if it'll run, if I can get that engine to just even do something, then I can get it moving around the yard and whatever. So I can tell you this, whatever the case with this engine, that Holley carburetor will not stay on there. I'll sell that. I don't do Holleys. That's a spread bore, which I've actually got a 360 quadrajet. They did make those. A 360 quadrajet to go on there. But anyway, the rest of it's just going to be the usual. We know the story on all this. We know how things go. We know what has to be done. We have to clean. We have to fix. We have to get the bad news and we have to get the good news. So we'll do all that as we go along. So let me ask you guys responded pretty good to this last poll that I put up on my videos about talking or not. So let me ask you another preference question. So I can do videos where it's like a compilation video, which will take me probably about 3 weeks to a month to do each one of them. But it's going to have probably, you know, it's where I'm just going through everything on this, you know, all at once. It's like a chapter play. It's like a, you know, it's like an episode of television. I can do it that way. Or I can just do like a topic at a time. I can do the topic of like, is this engine seized up? Will the engine run? Fixing something, look at that thing. Fixing like some electrical stuff. You know, I can break it off into little chunks, break it up into little chunks and do it that way. I'm not going to do any cleaning videos. I think cleaning videos are the most boring thing I've ever tried to watch. I can't stick with them. I don't want to watch people pressure wash stuff. I like to see it beforehand, and then I like to see it when you've cleaned it up and all that. But so let me know about that too. Let me know if you just like, you know, to attach. It's kind of easier for me to manage doing the videos if I do just like just 1 or 2 things per video. I mean, it might be like cleaning interior, you know, fixing interior up. You see what I'm saying? So you just let me know what you prefer, and we'll do what folks want to watch, because I don't really know. I can do it either way, but it just I tend to not like to spend a lot of time editing videos. As you see, I can talk my way, except for having to turn this thing off for the train. I can talk my way through an entire 20-minute video and not have to turn it off. So. But it doesn't matter. We'll do what the viewers want. Just looking at something, still got the cruise. This is the column out of this original truck. I can tell because it's got the gear shift where looks like they forcibly removed the gear shift out of it. And not only does it have a key here, but even better, it's got another key down there. You think one key is good? Just wait till you have to have 2 keys. Then you got to figure out which order to turn them in. All right, guys. Well, I think I've yacked enough. You know, and it wouldn't be a video of mine, and it wouldn't be a project of mine if I didn't have something with door panels that were put on with screws. That's another thing. Why we're griping? Why in the world will people not just? Why people not just go buy the little pieces of trim holders and put them on it, and you're done with it? Why? But I guess I'm too OCD. But anyway, real quick before I go, one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to tear this thing into pieces in the yard and ruin it. I've seen videos where people do that. I don't know what that are the nicest people you ever run into, it seems like. But they've got some kind of obsession or compulsion or disorder. I don't want to be mean, but some kind of something going on that their idea of doing a project is to take every last piece of it apart first. And you have some here, you have some there, you got the engine here, you got transmission here, you got a cab there, you got hoods and stuff, all this crap laying around. And, you know, it essentially turned it from something that could be used, usable and running and moving, to nothing. It's a pile of parts. Why would you do that? I mean, I can understand it if you had shown evidence, which you don't have to prove anything to anybody. This is just YouTube. It doesn't matter in the end. But if you had had a track record already that you actually put things back together, instead of your whole entire channel being nothing but taking things apart, you know, that would be probably viewers would be more tuned in and believe that something's actually going to happen, instead of another episode of, well, I found this and drug it home. I moved this around. I took this apart now. I had a friend did that. He was a compulsive disassembler. That's all he ever did. And then the work, when he actually did force himself to put something back together, it was terrible. So he just didn't like he didn't, you know, he was not a completer. So here's the, and this goes to me too. You know, if you want to see something through to the very bitter end and have it back together, you're going to have to get your ass out there and work on it. It's not going to, You can watch all the YouTube videos you want to of somebody else doing the work. You can buy all the other stuff you want to. You can do anything else but work on it all you want to. But in the end, if you don't get your ass out there and work on it and turn some wrenches and be creative and actually be able to put the damn thing back together and not just take it all apart, then it doesn't mean nothing to nobody. It's not a project. It's something, it's a pile of parts. You're a creator of piles of parts. That's all you are. I'm not being mean to anybody. I'm just telling you like it is. Because I've done that myself. And I recognize that and I say, whoa, stop, hold up, stop doing anything. Just walk away from it, put the hood back down and leave it for a while. Like that car there. That car there has got the windows out of it. But I have redid the top on it already. I have fixed the shock mount most of the way. I'm about to put the trunk floor back in it. So I pick away at it. It may not seem like it, but I work on it when I want to, and then I stop and I don't do anything else to it. I've got all the parts stored, and but I keep my focus on it. I have no other urge to go buy another one or two of those cars and take them all apart. It doesn't do anything for me. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching this madness. I'll try to be on here a little bit more often. I tell those people that too. But everybody take care, and we will see you down the road on the next one. Later. Okay, day 2. I'm home again, and I'm going to start back into this cleanup project. So last evening I got the bed cleaned out for the most part. It still needs to be pressure washed. And it's so nasty in here. It actually had soil in it, in the corner of it. I don't know how it didn't rot it out, because these beds have a terrible drainage system on them. All they've got is just like a minuscule little slot, like on that side over there, and then over here they got the same thing. But it didn't, fortunately. And it looks like this bed's had a 5th wheel in it at one point. It's got 3 bolts here, 3 bolt holes there, something in the center, maybe for wiring. I don't know. Never had a 5th wheel, so don't know. And I got the tailgate open and nearly broke my finger in the process. Actually, my finger's already been fractured and it's not healed up, but I whacked it on the tailgate real hard and that didn't help it. So, you know how they say, hits just keep on coming. So I've been turning this over in my mind last night, and I don't know. I'm just not sure what this is yet. The frames on a 250 and a 150 are supposed to be just about the same, but this deal up at the front with those leaf springs, that's not an easy thing to do, and I just don't see anybody doing that. So I'm kind of going back to where I think that they've used parts off different trucks to build this one. I think this is an older frame, though I will say this much: these do not look like 3/4 ton springs to me. They look too light. You can see that one over there. So this frame to me looks like, let's see if I can get on past that. That just doesn't look like that's a big enough spring pack for a 3/4 ton. Could be, but so I don't think anything's just all original to anything. I think this may be a W150 frame, may have a 250 rear end in it. I haven't even pulled that off to see if it's a full floater or not. I was kicking that. I'll do that here in a little bit, but I guess the next thing I need to do is face my worst fears and get in here and get this interior seen about, because this is just like it's awful. So it's all got to come out. Everything in there, seat's got to come out. I mean, look at this. Just look at it, will you? And look back here. There's crap back to that. So anyway, there's nothing left to do but to do it. I've went back to my COVID box, which was never a COVID box, but I had some of these N95 masks left over from all that crap, so I'm gonna wear one, because this is no joke aside about masks or anything. You do not want to mess with like possibly a hantavirus or anything like that. It's not something you want, so it's sure not something I want. So I'm not gonna, again, I don't like having to watch people clean crap out of an interior, but I'll tell you what we will do. I'll meet you halfway on this. Let me get my mask on, and then I'll take the camera around over here and put it in a stand, and we'll run it for a while, and I'll pick some of this stuff out of the floor over there. So any people that just love to see nasty, messy junk being pulled out of a vehicle, you'll get your fix on that, and so we'll just do that. So anyway, let me get this germ thing on here, and we're back. Alright, I think we're in position here. I don't really want to even get in front of the camera because this get up I've got on looks so ridiculous. It looks like something off Saturday Night Live, you know, when the gal, Debbie Downer, got on there and she had all the gas mask and all that. But whatever, you've seen me before, you know how ridiculous I look anyway. So, I have resorted to a garbage sack because I'm out of garbage cans. I moved up here. I bought that big, fairly large size rolling garbage can, and I thought, well, you know what, that'll be plenty. Shit, I filled that thing up more times and had to quit putting stuff in it before the garbage runs. I can count. So, anyway. Nope. Nope, we don't want the genie. Alright, these things, we'll see what to do about those. This mirror has certainly seen better days. The glass has gone off of it, so we'll probably keep it. It's going to depend on where I can find the glass to it. So, yeah. Random bolts. This stuff here, just to keep it. The aforementioned dash components. The aforementioned dash cluster, which actually does not have the little hook broken off of it. A lot of people don't know this hook exists. They go yanking on these things trying to get them out and break them. And 2 tail lights. Not bad, actually. Yeah, not bad. We can use them. I hope they're one to each side and not the same sides. Some random screws. Oh, that's the door handle that's broken off or detached somehow over there. And the hardware, which, I don't know, what is this? All this stuff's got a date on it, if I could read it. It says 00 or something. I don't know. My near vision's going away on me. Let's take this out. You know, part of me says that's a really nice piece of plastic there. And then part of me says no. So I don't know what to do with it. If I have any sense, I'll throw it in the garbage. Well, that was kind of anticlimactic. There's nothing here except there's a Alright, well, yeah, gosh, mate, I don't even be in that thing. That truck is so nasty. So, I guess what I'll do now is, I was afraid of that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get this seat unbolted and out of here. And that way it's out of my way. And I don't know what to do quite about this rat shit problem, because it doesn't look like rats. That's bigger than rats. It's either pack, well, it may be maybe a pack rat, or it's something pretty doggone substantial. And so I showed you that glove box is filled up with it. And the bad part is those things get in your heat and air conditioning, and then when you don't think about that, you turn it on and it blows all that junk out in your face, and well, you can think of the rest of it. So you may or may not get sick from it. Maybe it's, I don't know if rat poop expires at some point, that it's no longer harmful. As far as I'm concerned, it's harmful forever, but I don't know that. So anyway, let me get going on that and stop talking, and I'll get that seat out of there and figure out. I may be able to take that glove box. I took the other one loose in the other truck. I took it out. I think you can just take it out. Yeah, I think you can take it out by just unscrewing it. We'll see. I'll come back when I've got somewhere with this. Okay, I think I got the bolts out of this seat. Let's see how this is going to go. This is really bad. Right. Let me bring you in for a closer up. Yeah, just get the full effect of this. Oh, Jesus. So this is proof here that this was not originally a four-wheel drive truck, because this cab wasn't. Well, we already know that, because this part, this would be original, and it's not. Somebody's cut it out, because you can't get all that four-wheel drive stuff to fit under a two-wheel drive Kiki. So, okay, so now, yeah, look at this. Someone's had the body mount. Yeah, I don't know if we're getting to the body mount, what they were doing, but, so, I have to decide here what I want to do with this. I think the next thing I gotta do is get this glove box out, because if I blast the floor out, then it's just gonna dump it right back on it. So I think those are our screws right there. Okay. Don't make me do it. Okay, well, I'll put you on the stand here again, and I got to go in and get my screwdriver, and I know people don't like to sit and watch the dead air, so Be right back. Well, I thought I'd just share with you another nightmare that I have faced me, even worse than this. I'm going to have to finally go have some of my dental work redone. When I was 16 years old in 1987, which, how long was 87 is that? 38 years ago, I had a whole bunch of dental work done. Had to have a whole bunch of fillings and things, and several of them have failed. And being a man who definitely doesn't like to go to the dentist, I just kind of, since they were in the back of my mouth, I just suffered through it and just let it ride. But I got some up towards the front now that are, they're those, what do they call them, composite, and I can't believe they lasted 38 years, but they're starting to crumble apart, and I'm going to have them fixed now. So this is basically child's play compared to that. Oh, sorry, I'm going to go get my blanket. But thankfully, I haven't really been having any other kind of issues to speak of, just older, middle-aged stuff. And having a little, as you can probably tell, I'm having a little trouble keeping my weight down. But so far, well, that's about it. Uh-oh. Hear those gunshots over there? That's my neighbor. And he's about I think he's over 90 years old now. And I have to go out there and fire gun. I'm sorry. I got to come back with another screwdriver. That thing won't take one of those out. Looks like it's rusted. It's probably got rat piss all over it. Nope. That's not good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. I don't like this. Oh no. Oh no. Check out what these sons of bitches have done to this thing. Blah. Go to hell, pack rats. What I say. Alright, well, I think the best thing I can think of to do now, I guess I have to clean my vacuum cleaner out and try to get that out, but we're going to get the pressure washer after this thing. I don't care. I don't care where water gets in it. This has got to be cleaned out. So, alright, this is what we'll do. I guess I'll get the sucker out here and suck it out, sucker. Yeah, that's nasty. That's got to all be clean and sterilized. That's as bad. That's probably worse than that 69 Dart. And that 69 Dart was bad. I mean, it was really bad. That probably tops that one. It looks kind of old at least. It doesn't look like any of this stuff's real fresh. So, Jesus, nasty, nasty, nasty. You guys want to hear something that's kind of crazy, and it's another one of these. I'm just going to squat down here in the shade and talk to you for a second. It's another one of these damn things where some egghead's getting paid to think up some kind of change that's you know, it probably sounded good to them, and then he got another couple eggheads to sign off on it. But what happened is, this camera that I'm using, this camera's old. It's actually as old as the one I was using, which I only recorded in 720. But this one's a good camera. It's a Panasonic. Let me look at them. It's a Panasonic HDC SD90. So it records in 1080 progressive. Won't record any better than that. But it's a good camera. It's got a light on it. I like the way it works. But so I've recorded several clips at different times. I kind of go back and forth between this camera and my iPhone. And so anyway, along the way, after I bought this camera, I finally had to upgrade my computer. I was using that, I don't know if I think I might have mentioned it in a video or at one point, but I had a computer I bought from the what was it, a thrift store? It was one of those little small form factor, what kind of Dell? Optiplex 780, and that's a business computer. And I really like those because they just last and last and last. But it was a 780, and it was running Windows 7, which I think it originally came with XP, but it's running Windows 7. Of course, you know, any of y'all know as well as I know, people that sell computer operating systems, and especially sell them to computer manufacturers, want to start pushing the newest thing and sell those, and they don't want to support the old ones anymore. So the lie that they tell about it is that it's not secure anymore, can't be supported. What they need to say is they don't want to support it. It's not making them enough money to continue to support some old operating system like that, even though that computer worked fine. So once they do that, they get these web page people that operate web pages, you know, search engines, etc., and they get them on board with the same thing. They start popping a little banner up at the top. This is not supported anymore. You need to upgrade your browser. So long story short, I held off as far as I could, and I finally got a pretty good deal on a much newer, I think it's a 2022, another Dell Optiplex that's running, they refurbished it, and it's got Windows 11 Pro on it. So anyhow, what's the point of the story? The point of the story is I got that computer going, I've been using it, and I like it. I've got a work laptop that's already got 11 on it too, so I'm used to it, but it works pretty good for the most part. But I downloaded all these clips onto the computer so I could sort through them, delete what I wanted to delete, if I'm going to use, and so on and so forth. Well, I start playing them back through the built-in, whatever that player is. I don't think it's Windows Media Player anymore, but they have a player that plays your videos. So I'm playing these damn video clips back, and every time I open one up to try to play it, the one off this camera, it says something along the lines of, we cannot play back the audio since the AD3 or AC3, whatever they called it, format is not supported. So every one of them would do that except the one that was on my iPhone. So something, I had to even look up what that is, and what it is basically, this is the way this camera records audio, is in like and correct me, I know there are those of y'all who know much more about this, and please correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but I think this thing records in like Dolby 5.1 audio. It's meant for like surround sound. So this AC3 or AD3, whatever that said, it's something to do with that. So in not so many words, the new computer does not want to recognize the old camera format, audio format. Let me say that again. It does not want to recognize it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not unstable. It works just fine. You can hear it just fine. But like I said, some geek decided that, well, that's old and obsolete. We need to make sure consumers use something new that we've created. We don't need to keep using that. It's no good anymore. Bullshit. It's like this truck and that car. That car over there, that blue car, can get in and drive anywhere I want to. This is all planned obsolescence, so that we know that. So anyway, I thought, well, great. Now I've got all these clips recorded. I can't do them over because you record clips for your video, and then you go do something after you've recorded it and changed things. You can't go back and redo it. So I had to see what to do. And all I had to do to get around that is I found somebody recommended a website on a forum. I think it's called TechSpot or something like that. And you just go there and you quickly download a free patch or codec or whatever it is onto your computer. Give it the necessary permissions. Takes about less than a minute. And then it works perfectly. That's a long story to say something so stupid that somebody has to go back and just create problems for people. I can't stand that. I can't stand somebody or some entity that just comes back and tries to make things hard for people. But anyway, that's my rant. I've got that off my chest and I feel better about it. I don't feel good about what I have to do here because my nightmare continues. And it's going to continue. Maybe forever. But somebody's been up to something, because I think that's a cab mount bolt right there, and they got the cover off of it. Boy, this thing is nasty. Oh my gosh. So it's not going to get less nasty by me just standing there yet. So let me, I guess I need to decide if I hate that old vacuum cleaner enough to use it to vacuum all this out. I think I'm going to, because I've actually, and then I promise you I'll shut up, but at least for a little bit. I actually got so tired of that vacuum cleaner clogging up because it's too small that I went and bought a very nice expensive DeWalt, large, huge vacuum cleaner. And do you know where that vacuum cleaner stays? That top vacuum cleaner stays? It stays in the house because I don't dare use it for something like this because it's so nice. I can't. There's people, just quickly, and then I'll quit yakking, but there's people that don't mind just tearing the shit out of anything, even if it's new. It doesn't bother them. Just vacuum all this stuff up with a brand new vacuum cleaner. I can't do it. I can't do it. When he gets old, then to some point, which I haven't determined yet, I'll start using it. I guess I'll use that one. That thing is, this vacuum cleaner's got to be. I've been waiting for it to burn up. I was trying to burn it up so I could buy the new one, but it never would. This thing's probably got to be about 12 or 13 years old. It sits out in the weather. It sucks up gas, not gas because that's dangerous, but probably like, just all kinds of grease and dirt and junk, and it just keeps going. I mean, the filter gets so mucked up in there that I have to just take it off and throw it away. I can't even, the pre-filter, can't even clean it. All right, Tyler, shut up for a while. Get work. And I tell people I don't like talking very much. I like talking to you guys, of course. And y'all voted on the video where I was working on the VW. I said, what do you want? I said, you want me to just be quiet? Or you want me to talk? And everybody said, just talk. So that's what I'll do. All right. Well, I'm trying to put this off, I guess. But I can't think of anything else to talk about right now, so I'm not going to film that. I'm just going to put my mask back up and go to town. Okay, time to get out the big guns. So I did all the vacuuming I was going to do on this. And I've made the executive decision that I'm going to pull the dash out of this. Because based on what's in there, there's no way I drive this truck with it that nasty. So we're just going to have to do the old whoop, pull it out, clean it up, start over. And in the meantime, I'm going to get as much of the nasty out of it as I possibly can. I don't really know where to put you guys. I don't do much pressure washing video stuff, so put you over the other side. You're probably gonna get spray on your lens, but anyway, we'll try right here. Choke, fuel on, fuel off. There we go. Well, it helps if you turn the switch on. this one. Well, I guess there's no time like the present to get the verdict and see if this engine is locked up or not. I'm going to say it is. That air cleaner looks really rough now. That could just be surface rust. Hopefully it is. But you know how water is. Water and rodents have a real bad habit of getting into an engine and screwing it up. So I'm going to go down. I did make sure that this crank harmonic balancer has a bolt in it. It does. So I've got my tools ready down there. I'm going to see if I can get you all set up somewhere up here. You can see what's kind of going on here without me having to try to put this stuff on a tripod and the camera not taking a header off of here, hopefully. Alright. Maybe it'll stay there. Yeah, we'll try it. So, let me see something actually. Pull this over. I feel a little better about that being a little different. Okay, so, alright, we'll try that. Alright, so I did take it out of gear. I ought to do that. So let me see. Let's stay out of the radiator. Yep, the old YouTube is at seized up moment. Hey, look at that. Okay. Well, that's good news so far. Put my ratchet on it. I hear a scraping noise. I don't know what that is. Good. Good. Okay. Let me go a little further with it. Alright, I'm satisfied there. Okay. Well, that's good news. So, real good news. Come on now. Well, let's go on out. So, well, alright, so I don't kill those wasps because they're a little annoying. You're the one that makes all these nests all over things, but they keep the spider population down and they're not aggressive. So she's looking around for kind of late in the year, but okay, so I'm going to go forward with this. I'm going to just kind of tidy up this engine bay and start getting some of this stuff removed that I know I'm not going to need, because I may have mentioned it before, but this is not going to be a TBI engine anymore, so I'm going to pull the tank out, and if I have to swap the tank for one that just for a carburetor, I'm hopeful that I can just swap the sending unit out of it, but I don't know that yet. We'll find out. But all this wiring here that's going into there's crap everywhere. All this wiring harness is, you can see how bad it looks. It's got the usual stuff. It's got these crimp connectors. It's got this. There's a wire nut. It's a mess. It's a terrible, terrible mess. I don't know why people are so bad at wiring. Like this. Why would you do that? I mean, that's got to be somebody close to a kid doing that. And the fuel lines, all this stuff for the pressure regulator, we're just going to take that off. We're going to take that Holley carburetor off and sell it. I don't do Holleys. I've got a Quadrajet to go on it. I think this is the intake says it's a 76. So if it is, there's an adapter under there, I see. So that's good. That means there's probably a spread bore bolt pattern, so good. So this engine, I haven't found the numbers off of it. Some of these, I think they may have switched sides on where they put these stampings. They're supposed to be up front, and this one doesn't have it. And I've seen on the internet several of these same year 360s that didn't. So I'm going to do a bit more investigating, but pretty certain that this is just a truck engine. Nothing very, nothing unusual, but they're good engines. I mean, they don't make a lot of power stock, but that's what it looks like. It doesn't look like it looks like I see, all this orange paint more over here on the other, excuse me. Got my tongue twisted there. More on this side than on the other side, but there's probably not anything done to this. Probably just plucked straight out of maybe a motorhome or a van or some church van or something, whatever. So anyway, I'm going to start tidying up, get rid of this battery and get rid of this computer that's back here that I won't need. So what I will do is, what I'll probably end up just doing is, we're going to see if this thing will run. I'm pretty sure it will. So we'll make sure it runs, see what kind of shape it's in, see if it's about to throw a rod out of it or not. I'm going to borrow my dipstick out of my other truck real quick to see if it's got oil in it. And once it runs, we'll know where we stand with it. So, manual choke. Somebody put a manual choke on it. Never, ever, ever try to understand how an electric choke works. Looking at the wiring on this, I can tell this is a homebrew job, because the ignition system on the TBI was all controlled by the computer. So when they put this old engine in, they had to come back and put the ballast on it like we were looking at already. And the box, which the box is in the wrong spot. I don't really necessarily have a problem with it being there, but it's supposed to be on the fender if the up here. That's keep it out of the rain and water and stuff. And I can tell you that this ballast is wired up wrong anyway. See how it just has one wire in, one wire out? Well, this MSD Blaster 2 coil, I'm not even sure it's supposed to have some of these don't have to have a ballast on them. The reason for the ballast is that Mopar ran the ignition coils on about 5.5 or 6 volts, even though it's a 12 volt system, just to prolong the life of the coil. The ignition system was designed around that. But not every coil is like that. In this aftermarket, I'm going to have to look at that. This aftermarket coil may not even need that. It can, some of them just run right off 12 volts, but that's the reason for the ballast. And the ballast is, the reason why I say it's wired up incorrectly is because that there's supposed to be two, may not be two net separate wires, but there's, what's supposed to happen is when you turn the key to run, it's supposed to be going through the ballast resistor into the coil. When you turn it to start, there's supposed to be an extra wire on one side of this ballast that gets fed full 12 volts. It bypasses the ballast and sends full 12 volts to the coil during start only. And just a lot of people just, they can't comprehend that, how that works. But I see what he's done. This guy has built this, and he knew enough about it. He didn't, I wouldn't say he's done a very good job at it, but he just ran the ignition system kind of standalone, and it came over to this. He's got a whatchamacallit, a terminal block here. That's where he's scraped all the paint off over the kill. But this is probably the starter relay, but I can't use any of this because this thing, like I said, it's too much wiring for what it needs to be a carbureted truck, which it will be. So the dealio is, what we're going to do here is I've washed this interior out just enough to not be a health hazard as much. They won't give up, will they? But all this has got to come out. This dash has got to come out because it's so filthy dirty and it's had vermin in it. And the wiring, I don't know what kind of shape the wiring's in. I don't know anything about anything. So only complication about that is that Mopar, in their infinite wisdom, is another one of these that you have to pull the windshield out to get the dash out of it. That's the stupidest idea I've ever seen anybody do. I don't know why, but these A-bodies are the same way. That's what it is, but this windshield's busted, so we don't care about that. We'll just pull it out. I mean, I'm gonna strip this thing down to the last. I'm gonna look and see, because somebody's been in here. They put a clutch pedal assembly in this thing. They probably had this all out anyway, but they may have. I wouldn't believe that somebody takes some shortcuts on this, but look at that. They just bolted it right to the damn dash pad. Didn't care. So anyway, that's what's going to happen over time. Pick away at this thing. And all that. Listen, it's awful. But, okay. Try not to extend this too much. So I'm going to go ahead and just spend some time tidying this up. I think I'm going to just rip all this out and start over, because you see he's got these butt connectors on here on the thing for that. It's not the right connector. So whenever the time comes, I'll just go to the junkyard and get a harness out of a truck about that year. Should be just fine. Okay, well, enough talking. More work. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too picky, or I worry too much, but I have a little bit of a problem when someone runs the positive battery cable and the two fuel lines wrapped together, like that is, about 2 inches from the header. And I also have kind of a concern when someone saws the steering column extension in half and reconnects it with a piece of cast iron water line, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this. I just feel like it's a little dangerous. So I just took off this carburetor and this adapter. This had that Holley carburetor on it. And then there's the adapter that was under the Holley. And then there's the factory intake. So tell me, what do you see here? You see anything different between this and this, this and this, this and this? What do you see different than that, besides the fact that the holes are, you know, a little different? This this. What do you see different? Now this is just an example to prove again that good old boys are not carburetor engineers and they're not induction engineers and never will be. So that intake and those big honking ports on the back of it, that's the factory iron intake for this 360 that took a thermoquad, or it can take a quad-jet. But since good old boys are convinced by all other good old boys that you never use a thermoquad or you never use a quad-jet because they got weird things in them that no good old boy can figure out what they do, then you have to put that smaller adapter on there to run a smaller carburetor. That intake, those ports are capable of flowing anywhere from 750 to 850 CFM. Not saying this engine would ever ingest all that kind of air, but it would. In theory, you have that capability. That's like, you know what I thought that was when I looked at it first? I thought this guy has been running this truck in some kind of class, and it's having to restrict it's like a carburetor restrictor. You know, the old joke that Mortz keeps putting up, you know, yeah, see, there it is. Took the restrictor off the old red dragon so it can really breathe. So, look again, let's look closer at it one more time so we all see this. This is the top of it. This is the bottom of it. Top, bottom. Look at that. Take it all in and look at it. Tell me what's helping by putting that Holley carburetor on here. Tell me exactly, and be very detailed about it, your explanation of how this must be better than this. Because all those wacky things in those carburetors that no good old boy can figure out. So anyway, enough harping. It's just, you know, it's one good old boy believes all the other good old boys. If Uncle Good Old Boy said that quadrajets and turboquads are terrible, then the nephew Good Old Boy thinks the same thing. Alright, and another thing I'm going to have to do at some point is take this ridiculous bumper off here. I kind of hate to in a way though, because I feel like I'm going to be hitting my knees and stuff on that, but we're getting there with this. This is just like some sort of like a, you know, it's therapy for this thing. It's getting all the crap out of here and starting anew. So, alright, talk to you in a bit. So just looking at this stuff I pulled off that pickup out there and seeing what it is. Basically, all this fuel system stuff is just generally just basically a fire looking for a place to begin. I think this is just a standard Holley, 600 CFM Holley, off the shelf, probably a parts store carburetor. You know, vacuum secondary. I don't know much about them. I don't use them. So I'm going to give this one to Bob with me in my garage. He runs Hollies, so he can either use it or whatever he might need it for. But it's not seized up. So, but this is kind of one of these. I think I guess it's a 4160. Apparently there's like a metering block back here. It's harder to tune. So, you know, but there again, same thing as always. You know, somebody has pulled off the 750 or 800 CFM thermoquad, whatever it was on it, that, you know, they didn't want to try to understand and put a 600 CFM Holley on it. But whatever. And then the rest of it's just some old, lines are now old and kind of rotted. They did put some fairly good Daco hose on it at that time. I think I saw a date on one of these hoses. Yeah, over here. It's got 72410 in that truck. The license plate expired sometime early in 12. So somebody probably built it around 2010 or so and just didn't really do much with it. But it's just your usual stuff, you know. It's got parts store fuel line with these doggone clamps that eat the fuel line up. It has this fuel pressure gauge on it, which is all plastic except for part of where the nut screws in, but this is plastic. So again, that's a fire looking for a place to start. So I'm not going to use it. It's going to go directly in the garbage. And then over here we have a fuel pressure regulator, which took off, and it's kind of rough shape, and there's no name on it. It's probably based on this shiny metal it's made with. That's probably just some kind of parts store cheapo, and it has a screw that won't come out of it even though I've tried to get it out. So I'm going to probably take off the decent fittings here and add them to my pile of other fittings just like it that I never use for anything, and throw this in the scrap. So that's all we got, and I've had no luck finding anything out about that engine. I don't know what it is, except it's a 360. It's got a casting of 330 of 76 on the side of it, but the distributor does not have a tag on it anymore. The numbers that are supposed to be stamped per my early video about identifying those engines, where the numbers are supposed to be stamped on the front of the block on the driver's side, there are no numbers there. Like I said, I'd heard that before, and this one has no numbers on it. It does not have any VIN number on where the pad where it's supposed to be stamped. So that tells me it was probably out of some kind of allegedly they did not put partial VINs on truck engines. So pretty good clue that it was out of some kind of a truck. But it doesn't matter. They're all the same basically. You're not going to get lucky and find any kind of high performance stuff like that. Nobody out in the real world ever does. I don't find anything like that until there's a camera crew ready to document it. All right, I'm going in. See you. Yeah, that's what I thought. Somebody ruined a good 72 Plymouth bumper putting it on that truck. Thought it looked familiar. Sure enough, that's what it is. You can tell it's a 72 because it's got the slots in it. Because this bumper is a 71. I had to swap them out because the one that was on it was not in good condition. I had a 71, but if you look back here, the original rear bumper has a slot in it for the bumper jack. They changed that. Oh well. Leave it to people to destroy stuff. It's no good now. Had good chrome on it and everything. What a waste. So it's hay pulling time again. And they're pulling their hay wagon with almost a brand new Toyota Tundra TRD. My, how the times have changed. So anyhow, I'm back out here. I have limited time this weekend because duty calls again, like always. Seems like. But anyway, I'm back out here on this heap of a truck and going through all this wiring mess. I took out a whole bunch of the extraneous wiring that may or may not ever be reinstalled. But this truck, being a EFI truck, had a lot of extra stuff going on, so I've cleaned out a lot of it, and I'm trying to go back through and see what this mess is that this person has assembled to run this engine. Because this is all homebrew, good old boy crap wiring basically. He's got the alternator over here wired in. He did put a large wire on it, that was good. Got it run around over here, comes along the firewall, dives down somewhere into one of these harnesses, I guess, to charge the battery, presumably. Got some wires going back over here to the something. I don't know what they're doing. Fan, I guess. And he's got the ECU here, a bunch of assembled wiring that's not factored off. Into a harness, goes back over again. He's got the voltage regulator on there. He's got the balustrade. So he's got all this stuff wired in, but I don't know if he's wired it the right way or not. And to me, it doesn't matter because I'm going to rewire this truck anyhow. can find a good used harness and put on it, and we'll start from absolute scratch, at least under the hood. So what is here doesn't matter. I like to just get it running, ensure that it runs, and that's it. Then all the rest of this crap's coming out here. So I'm going to strip off the conduit off all this wiring and kind of just look and see what it's got, because I know that's not right, because you're supposed to have 2 wires on each side of that, because that ballast is supposed to be bypassed when you turn it to start. That's why when those things fail, they'll run with the key and start, not in run. And he doesn't have that, and it makes the coil not provides much spark when you're trying to crank it over. So, and I'm going to figure this thing's probably going to need all the help it can get. Alright, so that's what I'm going to work on today. I've got the carburetor, got my spare carburetor cleaned out and all that, so I'll put it on here at some point soon, and we'll try to get this thing brought to life. But I'll update you when I find anything out about this wiring. Okay, well, I got all this crap unwrapped, and it's just a big mess. It's a bunch of just parts store wiring connectors and this junction block, and it looks like the person got the thing wired up correctly. So it's probably running. As I said, they didn't put the start circuit into the ballast. I didn't know they had to do that, but they didn't do that. They had the fan wiring over there, one of the blower motor, just wired in with some kind of wire, no fuse. These people just do not understand why things have to be fused. But the charge wire looks like the original truck's charge wire possibly, but I don't think so, because it comes, like I said, it comes over there and goes around, and it comes over here, and then it looks like this is part of the original truck wiring right there. So, but it's just awful. So I'm going to take all the charge wiring off of it. I don't need the alternator to charge right now. This thing's not going anywhere anytime soon. So we're going to rewire it permanently at some point. So, you know, I've spent years and years and years on YouTube complaining about the quality work that other people do, and it's never changed it. So I guess I just need to shut up. But I don't get why people will spend so much time doing such a half-assed, mediocre type of job as this, when it really doesn't take that much effort to do a good job. Like, the truck's got wipers on it, but they hacked off all the wiring to the wiper motor. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know if this truck was ever in the mud or anything. It's awful clean for being got all this stuff done to it. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to hack and snip some more of this wiring off and just kind of get this thing where I can fire it off to run it, which will probably be this coming up week. And we'll just go from there. But anyway, that's about all to share with you right now. So I'm going to do this, and I got to stop here in a minute and go pick up a burn barrel here in town. So, alright, see you in a bit. Well, luck has smiled on me again, so to speak. So I thought I remembered seeing a ignition switch added on under here conveniently. Glad that's a panel. Well, I don't know. Nope, they drilled it right into the main panel. You idiots. So anyway, this is an ignition switch of some sort. It looks like something goes in a lawnmower possibly, but it will probably work for our usages. You see how they've got, well, I thought that was connected to that. It's not. Good. Well, here we go. Do it. They do have a wire nut in place. That's good. That's always a mark of expert redneck craftsmanship. Alright, I'll check this thing out. It should be fine.